There are many different ways to create a sensory space, but there are a few key things it might be helpful to remember, which I'll explain by sharing how I made a sensory space for my autistic son in our garage. The first is to find a space. This can be pretty much anywhere that's not going to need to be regularly accessed or altered for other reasons. It could be a spare room, a corner of a room, an attic, a basement, or in our case, a garage. I chose a location at the back of our garage, which wasn't going to be used for anything else. To prepare the space, you may need to do a bit of sorting. This was a big one for us, as our garage has been used to store a lot of stuff. We made room by putting up a shed in the garden to take some of this, which we'd been wanting to get anyway. Then it was time to clear the space. The removal even included some spiders, which were rehomed along with everything else in the shed. The next thing to consider is controlling the natural light getting into your sensory environment. While natural light can bring much sensory enjoyment, and is something I'll touch on later, this is often unpredictable. I wanted to be able to control exactly how our sensory space looks, so chose to eliminate the natural light. I did this using blackout curtains. If you're creating your sensory space within a room inside your home, perhaps just having a blackout curtain across a window will be all that's needed. In our case, I installed the blackout curtains across the middle of the garage, which blocked out light, but also helped to separate the sensory environment from the rest of the garage, with its very different purpose. With the design of the curtains I used, there was a gap close to the garage ceiling, so I also added some blackout material to cover this. This means that when the curtains are drawn, the space is completely without natural light, so we can illuminate it in whatever way we like. Another important consideration for our space was the flooring. The garage originally had a concrete floor, which wouldn't be ideal for lying back and relaxing on, so I added some square carpet tiles, which could be stuck to the floor and cut to shape where needed. Next comes the fun part, building a theme for your sensory space. This can by all means be varied, maybe reflecting a mix of the user's interests, but I wanted to give our sensory environment a more specific theme. This was the natural world. The natural world has brought inspiration for our family over the years, with my autistic son gaining sensory enjoyment from so many of its facets, from seas to quiet canals to rocky landscapes. It is also something I'm passionate about, having previously been a lecturer in earth sciences. I wanted our sensory room to convey some of these wonders to my son and perhaps a wider community like yourselves. The part of our space I've currently worked on is inspired by natural water environments. I created the focus here initially by using a sensory water tube and a strip of LED lights. The colour of the LED strip can be altered, so I've been using shades of blue to add the watery effect in our space. Another key addition has been a ceiling projector. These connect to the internet, so you could play any water-themed YouTube videos you could find. However, I wanted to personalise our environment further, so I made my own video called Floating in a Shallow Sea. Through this, I wanted to give the relaxing impression of looking up through gently lapping waters towards a sunny sky. The video is available on our other YouTube channel, Sensory Cinema, which is a place where we'll be sharing many more videos designed for ceiling projectors. These give that natural light back to our sensory room, but in a controllable, predictable way. Our sensory space is far from finished. I would like to add land, earth, and maybe even space themes to the existing water theme, and I'm beginning to prepare these. I'm excited about our ongoing project, and I hope it can at least provide others with ideas for shaping their own sensory spaces.